Fully Loaded, we represented Fillmore, right? But and we had the Mo going crazy.
We did.
And at that time, like Rich said, we up the way and down the way. So like the whole Mo, like I feel like we was gluing the Mo. Like everybody really rocked with us.
Right.
Like the whole turf. You feel me? And then, but not only the Mo.
Right.
The whole
the
city.
Too Short flip.
Right, the whole
Like,
city.
We have
we
Hunters
got over that
Point,
bridge.
Lakeview. Everybody would come to a Fully Low show.
Yeah.
Not just Fillmore.
Yeah.
And we was like the city's young guns. You feel me? Like, and the city rocked with us. Like they had our backs. You feel me? Like so. Like I just want to say that. Like that's one thing I remember about our first album. You know? That was special.
We had a lot of support from the city and the town for sure.
In the town,
They rock
definitely. Yeah,
with
shout out to
us.
town, man.
And shout out to V.
Shout out
Mac
to V,
Dre,
man.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
That was the first one to take us as well. He was
Oh,
there
yeah.
with us.
Shout out to
Dre
July 5th.
embraced us early.
Right.
He embraced us
ECR.
real early.
Yeah.
I was gonna get to that too, because there's like there's a lot of footage of y'all actually, you, Quinn, everybody else, like doing shows with Dre, and hitting the road. Like, what was that experience like?
I mean, it was dope for all of us.
man.
It was dope, man. I think, and it was cool because Dre built the bond with us as a crew and us individually as well. Like I got stories, Bay got stories, you know, Tory got a lot. That was Tory, you know, favorite artist at the time, right? And just in general. So that was some bucket list shit for us. And he was cool. He was fresh out. He had just did the Rompilation. It was before we actually got to watch the transition from like the gangster rap Dre to like the iconic, you know, Dre, and we got to see that transformation, and he kept us in the loop the whole time, so it was cool.
R.I.P.
It was dope.
man.
R.I.P. the big bro.
Yeah, I brought this up a few times because I had heard that Dre's plan for Thizz was to get artists from every city in the Bay, and I had heard that he wanted Fully Loaded to represent Frisco.
Off top,
Is that
man.
true? Did he approach you about that?
Yeah, we did the session with him about a week before he passed to get on. We own Thizz Nation Volume 2.
Yeah.
We own Volume 2, and we did a record, and definitely one. It, like I said, I don't know. You know, sometimes when you just build a bond with somebody, you don't know where it came from, why, but he just always. If he ain't talking to us direct, he telling Chuck Quinn, hey, make sure Fully Loaded there all the time. You know what I mean? So it was cool. We camped out. We was in Kansas City with him in the heat wave for about a week. Couldn't even leave, right? And we was just out there. He just vibed with us. We was in the trenches in Kansas City, just chilling with Dre, where he was an icon. You know what I mean? So
real. So
yeah, it was cool.
Mac Dre, and I want to say ECR July 5th, Mac Dre Day, 864L Camino Real. Come on out. I'm gonna be getting down. R.I.P.
Yeah, and like just being able to do Mac Dre days throughout the years, like what he's doing something for Dre this summer on July 5th, and I've been able to do a couple of Mac Dre days at the Warfield. It's been cool just to be a part of that story, that lineage. It's been great.
Authentically, man. Fully Loaded.
I found out through Shemp too. Like, see, Mac Dre was actually one of my favorite rappers growing up since I was like 10, 11, 12 years old.
Right.
So Kilo had told Shemp that he wanted to sign to Thizz, right? And said I was one of his favorite San Francisco rappers. But this was after he passed away. And it was supposed to be something going on, but we never followed through with that as well, because I was dealing with like drugs and you know what I'm saying, street shit,
Going through it.
and just you know what I'm saying, I just really wasn't focused on music.
Right.
And but I heard about that later in the game too, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, shout out to Kilo, shout out to Thizz.
Yeah.
Them is our family.
Yeah, that's
Come
fair.
on.
Yeah, y'all are on one of the Rompilations too, aren't you?
Two.
Yeah.
Two. Yeah,
Rompilations.
And Thizz Nation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Revelation 2.
He
That
loves
song
Fully
hard on there too. We was busting on
We
that.
going
Man,
crazy.
Come on.
Yeah, I thought when I heard that rumor that I thought that was like a cool strategy if you get a Vallejo label and then he signs someone from Frisco, especially y'all representing so hard at the time, and then get Oakland, Keek, and then San Jose, and then next thing you know the whole Bay is under there.
Come on.
So that would have been cool to come to fruition, but. Probably around the same time, y'all was like fully in motion with Done Deal too, right?
Yeah, we were. We was it was kind of at that point. I think the label was like on our back at that point, right? Because it was like we was working. We had so many mixtapes. We hit the mixtape scene real early too. You know what I'm saying? Like flipping beats. We did the Welcome to the Bay record on the Welcome to Atlanta beat. Radio started playing that. You know,
that
was like early. That was like 01. You know what I mean? 2001, 2002 at the latest. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we was early on that. So we was really dedicated to the Done Deal movement that we was creating.
That's crazy that at one point the radio was so accessible that they blew up a mixtape song.
Facts.
Man.
Because I remember they had that Welcome to the Bay in rotation. I'm like, man,
and we was getting booked off that, right? Yeah, we was getting booked. Right. And then that, and we'll talk about it later, but then that same whole mixtape movement we was doing ended up leading to one of the biggest songs out of San Francisco by our young gun that's over there in the cut right now. But we'll talk about that later. You know what I'm saying? But that was during that same process of us turning in all these records and on other people's beats and Von playing them, and we go in there and we doing that, and something was discovered out of one of them tapes. You know?
Right. Okay, so so Done Deal is like the flagship artist is Quinn.
Yeah.
But then you also got Willie Hen, yourselves. Who else was on that label?
Rich Rocker.
Yeah, Rich Rocker.
Skyballer
was there for a minute.
AP9.
AP9 put out an album with us,
The shout out G Bugs, man, you know what I'm saying? Submarine Funk was on there.
Submarine Funk, absolutely.
We even had Funky Fresh Sex Crew on there, man.
That's Shep, that's Ryan, that's Private Ryan. We had an eclectic crew, you know what I mean? It was dope, man. We was having hella fun. Just hella creative ass people.
Yeah, it was
Stay
dope.
creative.
And everybody went on to do a lot. You know, if you think about it, if you bust everything down, you be like, damn, like everybody went on to do some great shit. You know what I'm saying? In whatever world they was in, they did some great shit.
Rocker, everybody, all of them. Like,
Willie Hen with the product. Chuck.
With Chuck is with Nick Cannon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everybody did their thing, man.
Yeah, so that felt like a family label for sure. Like, and y'all definitely had the city on smash. It's like everybody's momentum is going into everybody else.
Recognize where you got the game. We got our own style, got our own slang. Northern California is a West Coast thing. This is the history of the Bay. Recognize where you got the game. We got our own style, got our own slang. Northern California is a West Coast thing. This is the history of the Bay.